Hey, what's up? What's going on? It's Mary Jane. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please like the video. It'll be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart. Could you please share the video to everybody? It'll be greatly appreciated as well. Today we're going to be talking about Marriage Boot Camp Reality Stars Family Edition Season 8 Episode 1. It gets interesting. So our first family that's been introduced, they pull up in front of the house. It's gonna be Farrah, she's from Teen Mom, and she has done a sex tape basically, and she's gonna be on there with her mother Deborah. Her and her mother Deborah had a big incident where, you know, Farrah claims that her mother assaulted her, and her mother, I believe, charges were filed against her mother, but I think after that they were dropped. And then Farrah kicked her father out the house, basically calling him a deadbeat. And basically he's not happy that he was kicked out the house, and he feels like Farrah does not respect him, and she's not a caring person basically. And Deborah, her mother, feels like Farrah is an angry person. She goes from a 0 to 100 immediately, and she just wishes her daughter would change and be more caring and more courteous to her basically. And Farrah believes that her mother is abusive, is a liar, and she's violent, and both her parents are deadbeat, and she's tired of taking care of them basically. So that's how we are introduced to them. And plus, you know, Deborah says her husband Michael, he had 21 affairs. Michael said he didn't have 21 affairs, but he did have affairs basically. So this is how we get introduced to them. And then the next family that pulls up in the SUV is Mike the Situation from Jersey Shore basically. He's been in the news for tax evasion allegedly, and plus he did the roast of Donald Trump. And he's been on Marriage Boot Camp before with his girlfriend basically. So basically he's on the show with his two brothers. One of his brother is Mark. Mark is the middle brother. Basically he is aggressive and he's angry basically. But Mike the Situation says that his brother Mark has really been like a father figure to him, and they're kind of close it seems. And then you get the oldest brother, his name is Frank, but he changed his name to Maximo because, you know, one of his family members stole his identity, and basically so he changed his name. And then on top of that, he recently just came out the closet a week ago. This is the word they used, came out the closet, and said that he was gay, and he was married for like 10 to 15 years, and he just came out and he changed his name. So his brothers are not too happy with him basically. And so basically they talk about their situation, and basically, you know, Maximo tells Farrah that, you know, he changed his name because of his identity being stolen basically. And Mike goes, oh, here we go again with him playing woe is me as victim. Basically Mike and Mark think that Maximo is a snake, he's no good, and he's such a liar, and he's a thief, he's a con artist. They have no love for him basically. But they do love him, but they just have no tolerance for his behavior. So we'll see. And so then the next family that's introduced that pulls up is Chad Johnson. He's been an NBA player for 13 years. And basically he said, you know, he lost it all when he had that domestic violence incident with Evelyn from Basketball Wives. Basically he lost his contracts, he lost everything basically. And he also says one of the downfalls in his life is when he was 5 years old, his mother left him with his grandmother and took off. And so there's a real big disconnect between him and his mother. And his mother name is Paula. Basically she feels that she didn't really abandon him. Her mom just treated her like crap, and she just had a really bad life basically. So that's one, two, three families so far on this show. And then the next dysfunctional family is Kendra and her mother Pat basically. So they enter the show basically just, you know, Kendra, she's been on this show. She has a show on WeTV. She was on the show with the Playboy Bunny guy. I can't even think of his name. And basically, you know, her husband being involved with a transsexual all that other stuff. And basically her mom has been supposed to be selling stories about Kendra and her marriage basically for years, and they really have a disdain for each other. Basically, Pat says that she's never did anything wrong to her daughter. Basically, she just tried to have a relationship, and her daughter doesn't want to have a relationship with her. And basically, her husband is the problem because he puts her on a pedestal and he doesn't let her be around anybody else. And basically, Kendra is just saying that she can't stand her mother. Her mother is hateful. Her mother is terrible. She's deceitful. She's all about herself. She never felt loved and all that good stuff, basically. So they're on the show, basically. And so basically, you know, when Farrah was entering the house, she said it again that she wished her mother was dead, basically, or would die or whatever, basically, so she can be done with all this bullshit. So then basically, you know, Paula, which is Chad's mother, she says that my son's problem is he just keep having too many kids. He keeps having too many kids with the wrong women, and basically, you know, he gets with these women and he messes up his whole career. He messes up his life. Every time that he has a baby with one woman, he loses a contract because he let the women interfere in his life. So basically, that could possibly be coming from his abandonment issues from his mom. So we'll see. And then Kendra also says that she hasn't seen her mom in 2 years since the last time she was on this show, basically. And so she really doesn't want to talk to her mom. She really doesn't think that, she's just here to see what's going to happen. She doesn't really have any expectations. And so Kendra mom, she has expectations. She wants their relationship to work. She wants forgiveness. She wants them to have a bond, basically. But Kendra is like, I'm done. I'm through with my mom. Basically, you don't know if these motherfuckers are acting, if it's real or whatever, because they've been on so many different shows. So anyways, Phaedra, you know, Farrah starts, you know, talking to her mom like shit while they're in the living room, basically talking to her mother like shit. Farrah's not talking to her mom like shit. Kendra's talking to her mom like shit. Like, she's saying that she just can't stand her. She don't want to be around her. Her mom's so disrespectful. Then Farrah jumps in and says, how can you be so disrespectful to your mom? How can you treat your mom like that? So Kendra says she's not even, in her confessional, she's not even going to bother. She's not even going to address Farrah, because basically she just wants attention. And she feels as though that Kendra says that she does not like to confront people. She does not like to bully people or just say things right away. Like, she likes to take her time and talk. And so sitting next to Kendra is her mom. Her mom is like, look, this bitch is lying. Like, you like to conversate? You like to speak, bitch? No, you don't. So it's just like, so this shit is just hilarious. To me, it's all of it fucking hilarious. I have no idea how these doctors are going to help these people. I have no idea at all. So anyways, then you get Dr. Ish. He comes down, he introduces himself, Dr. V. She comes down, she introduces herself basically, and she says, hey guys, let's all go into this other room, basically. So they go into this other room, and it's full of Christmas stuff. It's full of a Christmas tree. They have little elves or small people dressed as little elves. They have Santa Claus sitting there. They have Christmas carolers there. They have gifts, stockings, everything. Everything is it looks like a beautiful Christmas house, basically. Christmas living room set, basically. So anyways, you know, they're looking at, so everyone's like, it ain't Christmas. Why the hell are we here? And so you get Phaedra mom says, oh my God, this Christmas shit freaks me out. All these little people, all these little elves. Oh my God, this shit is crazy, basically. This is just, these elves are just freaky, basically. And she says this shit out loud. And basically, so then all the families go into the room and they all sit down, basically. And so then the Christmas carolers, they start to sing, basically, and they're singing lullabies, but basically the Christmas songs they are singing is about everybody in the room, basically talking about their dysfunctional life, the hatred, the disrespect, the lying, the drugs, the sex, porno stars, alleged abuse. So this is in the Christmas, this is what the Christmas carolers are singing, basically. And so, and then They're like, what the fuck are they saying about us? And then so they realize these Christmas Carol people are ripping them apart, basically just thinking about their lives. So then we get to Santa, and then Santa starts to read, like if he's reading a book, a Christmas book, basically he's talking about the situation, his brothers. And so then one of a situation's brother Mark says, shut the fuck up, Santa. This is right in the middle of the shit. So I was like, yo. But Santa's talking mad shit, talking about abandonment, talking about lies. He's just reading them, like each and every one of them have a line from Santa's book where he's disrespecting them. But he's not. He's just really telling the truth. So now Dr. V and Dr. Ash, basically, now what they do is they want each family to come up front and pick up a gift, basically. So the elves are going to give them a gift, basically. And the gift is going to be something directed towards them in their life, the problems that they're having. It's not going to be the gift that they desire or want, basically. Basically, they set it up like Christmas time because they say holidays bring out the worst in people. It makes it even worse, especially when you have a dysfunctional family. So anyways, so the first people up, so the first people that's up for the gift is Deborah. Deborah gets a noose, right? She goes, oh, I guess this noose represents that, because the noose is because of Farah saying that she wanted her mother dead, basically, and all this other stuff. So the mom said, okay, oh, it's because, and then the mom says, oh, am I getting the noose because my daughter accused me of beating her up and abusing her, giving her a bloody nose and choking her and all this other stuff, basically. So that's what it is. And so then Pharaoh is like, it represents you abusing me. It represents you hurting me. I have blood on my nose. I had a busted lip. I had this happening to me. I had that happening to me. And you won't own up to it. You won't own up to that. You abused me. You abused your daughter. You were no good. You're hateful, basically. And the mom is like, I didn't do any of that. You basically had like a little scratch and all this other stuff. So then Pharaoh gets up and she walks out and she was like, I'm not going to deal with this shit. I don't give a fuck or whatever. So everybody else is laughing in the room like, oh my God, especially the situation, his brothers, they're like, oh my God, she got a fucking noose. What the hell? Where they do that at, basically? This is what, the situation. And his brother Mark, they're just really cracking jokes like, where they get that at? Like, why would they give this woman a noose, basically? And so and so they're laughing at that. So then Phaedra finally comes back. Basically, Dr. V convinces her to come back into the room, but she doesn't finish her, her part of the exercise. So in the meantime, while Farrah's out in the hallway, Farrah's father, Michael, he opens up his gift, and it's a bunch of balls, basically. And so everyone's laughing in the room, and then the situation of Mark, they're laughing. It was like, oh my God, that is so sad that he got a fucking pair of balls. And they was like, this is ridiculous. How do you get a fucking pair of balls as a gift? And they're just laughing in their little confessionals, basically. And so then the middle brother, Mark, he says, you know what, I noticed Farrah didn't complete her exercise. I wonder what was in her gift. And Mike and Mark says, oh, it was probably a dildo, sex toys, and a blow-up doll, basically cracking on her and all this other stuff. I was like, yo, it was so funny. They was just going in like, yo, this bitch is really delusional, basically. So Farrah finally comes back in or whatever. So then now the next family up is Chad Johnson and his mother Paula. Basically, it's time for them to open their gift. And so Chad gets nothing in his gift, basically. And then Dr. Ish says that nothing stands for all the lies that your mother told you, all the times that she wasn't there for Christmas, and all the times that she lied straight to your face over and over. Your mother gave you no answers, no nothings, and no resolutions for anything, basically. And so everybody's like, damn, that's the fuck. And Chad is looking like, okay, this is some fucked up shit. So basically Dr. Ish is saying this right in front of Paula, and she just have a straight face on like this. She's just looking forward, and she's like this. She's like, I can't believe they're roasting me like this in front of my fucking face. And so that's exactly what they're doing. So then basically, so now they was like, Paula, it's time for you to open your gift. Paula Paula opens her gift, and she was like, oh, it's a bunch of bricks, so she can't move or whatever. And then come to find out, and her gift was a bunch of manures, a bunch of shit. Could you imagine them giving you a present on TV being a pile of shit? Mind you, it's in a tidy wrapped gift box. I mean, whoever wrapped these presents were immaculate at doing it, but she gets a pile of shit. And Chad is like, he's looking confused. He's like, damn, I can't believe these motherfuckers gave my mother a box of shit. And so, you know, Chad is like, what is that, manure? For real, you got shit in that box? And Chad is looking like he just can't believe it. He's like, I can't believe they gave my mother a box of shit. Yo, they're going in for ratings. I don't know. And so she's just like, I can't believe these guys gave me a box of shit, basically, Chad's mother. So this shit is too funny. And so, you know, Mike in the situation was like, what the fuck? A box of shit? They really wrapped up a box of shit for her? They're like, damn. I was like, this shit stands for you. So then the doctor said, this shit stands for you, Paula, being a shitty mother, not being around, not telling the truth, not owning up to your behavior, just being full of shit all the time, basically, because she never tells the truth, basically. That's what they're saying. And, you know, and Farrah, she laughs out loud in front of the room, like, ah, ha, ha, like, and so, like, she's totally interjecting herself in everyone else therapy session when no one interrupted hers, basically. And basically she's laughing, she's happy now. A few minutes ago when it was her turn, she totally stormed out. She totally was crying, she totally was hurt, basically. Now she comes back in the room and she's laughing at Paula, and she seems like she's happy, like she's ready. She got her game face on. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? So anyways, the shit is mad funny. I can't believe they gave his mother a box of shit. And so basically, you know, and so Chad is like, I can't believe they gave you shit. I can't believe they gave you shit. In his head, he's like, OMG. Paula said, can I leave this box of shit here, basically? And then Dr. Ish says, no, take the box of shit with you. And everyone starts laughing in the room. And so Paula's like, I can't believe they gave me a box of shit. And then Paula goes in her confessionals, I've been treated like shit my whole life, and now I'll continue to be treated like shit because they gave me a box of shit. And she couldn't believe it. She even smelled and looked to make sure it was shit or whatever. So now it's Mark. So now it's Mark, Frank, which is Maximo, and Mike. Basically, it's their turn to sit up front, basically. So basically Mark gets, so basically, hold on. So basically, you know, Mark, basically, he's kind of the aggressive one and everything. So basically, he calls his brother, his brother's always whining like a little chihuahua, basically. And so his brother Maximo, which as Frank says, why are you saying I always sound like a little chihuahua, basically? And so then Frank goes, because you're like a woman, you're always nagging, you're always complaining, you're always barking at them. And so then Maximo was like, see, that's the gay reference. He's comparing me to a woman. It's like, I have to deal with all this, hate, basically. And so then Mike says, come on, like, well, you want us to take you serious? You just came out the closet, you changed your name. It was like, it's just too much, basically. It's like, we can't take you seriously. So it's like, so they're like, we can't take you serious, basically. So then Maximo, he gets a box of, and so when he opened his present, he gets a box of leeches, basically. And so the leeches stands for like blood sucking. And then when the three brothers are doing their confessional, Mike, the situation, says, I don't think you're a leech. What I really think you are is a snake. They should have gave you a snake in your box. And so then the brother Mark, he gets handcuffs, basically, because he assaulted his brother, basically. And basically they feel like he's in fear of himself, or letting go of things and opening up. So he's handcuffing himself to his feelings, basically. And so Mark is like, that shit is bullshit. Ain't nothing. I ain't scared of shit. Basically, I face all my problems. I don't give a fuck about these handcuffs. This is fucking stupid. Basically, he feels like they should give the handcuffs to Farrah, basically, because she's the one doing the kinky stuff. And so basically, while they're having a little session, Farrah, she jumps in basically, and she's like, oh, you're such an asshole, you treat your brother like shit, you're not a real man, there's no man in you at all. And so basically Mark turns around, he says to Farrah, like, oh, you had nothing but a lot of man in you, bitch, basically saying that since I ain't no man, but you had a lot of man in you, basically, because she did porn, basically. And so she was like, oh, F you, and all this other stuff. And he's like, no one interrupted you when you was up here with your family, but you're interrupting us, basically. How disrespectful, basically. And so Farrah, she just keeps going on. She's not gonna stop, basically. So she's not gonna stop at all. And so it's just too funny. I mean, so he also said something else funny to her too. And so and then after that, Mike, the situation, he gets a box full of pills, basically, and he was like, oh, this is bullshit, basically. And he was like, my brother's always talking about me doing drugs or whatever. I'm being bound to, but there's more than me than just drugs, basically. I've did a lot more. I've helped my family out a lot. I've been there for my family, and I did all this for my family, basically. So so the situation, his brother's like, I don't know why she keeps chiming in. And so then basically Mark says, from now on, since you want to chime in and get into everybody's business, I'm gonna jump into your business. I'm gonna get into your business, basically. And so Farrah's father, he jumps in and he tries to use his balls that he just got to go at Mark, whatever. And Mark is like, sit the fuck down, dude. Your daughter's disrespectful. You can't even control that bitch, basically. And so the shit was funny. So then Kendra, she gets a voodoo doll with her husband's face on it, because basically she's supposed to be confined to her husband. And then Patty gets a stack, Kendra's mother get a stack of money with a stack of money with tabloid headlines on it, basically saying that she does nothing but sell stories. And then so Patty says, I've never got a dime. And Kendra was like, what? You never got a dime? Are you fucking kidding me? Basically. And so it is what it is. And so also Mark throws his handcuffs, and everyone's like, see, he's violent, basically. Yo, I don't know how the hell they're gonna help these people. I don't see it, but we'll see what happens. Basically, this shit is hilarious. And so then, the doctor said, you guys go find your room. And Kendra was like, I hope I'm not sharing a room with my mother. I don't fucking want to share a room with her, basically. And basically, they're sharing a room together with all these quotes and all this, and all of Kendra's books and her book quotes, basically. And then Mike, the situation, and his brothers, they go up to their room. It's filled with like, it looks like a jail cell, it looks like a prison, basically. So Mark, the older brother, wants to break down the bars and tear up the room because he feel like it's disrespectful. Basically, they explain to him that it stands for more than just him going to jail or you going to jail. It stands for being your brother also being confined with his sexual identity, basically. So then they move on from that. Then Farrah goes into her room with her mother and her father. They're all sharing a room. On her bed is basically like blow up dolls, whips, chains, all like porn stuff, and she's happy. She's cool. The parents are cool because they got a place to sleep, basically. So they're cool. So then when Chad gets to his room, it's filled with tabloids and comments and statements that he said. And one of the statements that he said, that his mom wasn't there for him because she was abusing drugs like crack, cocaine, heroin. So his mom totally gets irate about it, and she's like, I'm not gonna stay in this room. This is a bunch of bullshit. These motherfuckers ain't never seen me do drugs or heard about me doing drugs. And she was like, I ain't never did no hard drugs in my life. I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. I don't appreciate this shit. So she's going off. Chad is quiet. He ain't saying shit. So the mom is trying to take down the paintings, basically. And then Dr. V is following her, saying, hey, let's talk about this. And so Chasman's like, I don't want to talk to you. Don't follow me later. I don't want to say shit to you. I ain't got nothing to say to you. Leave me the fuck alone, basically. And so basically Chad tells Kendra that, my mom get like this. I don't even bother with her. Last time I got upset or angry, I lashed out and I had a domestic violence charge and I lost everything. So from now on, I just don't say anything. So that's why I'm really here to help my mom, because it's like she just shuts off. Basically, once she shuts off, and if you bother her, you're going to get cussed out, basically. And so Paula, which is Chad mom, was like, I ain't never did no drugs. I ain't never did none of that shit. And so Dr. V was like, can I talk to you for a minute? But your son said that statement. She was like, I ain't talking to you about shit. I ain't talking to you about me or my son. It's none of your fucking business, basically. And while she's doing it, she got a drink in her hand. She's going outside, basically. And so Dr. V says, so let's get to the bottom of this. She said, it ain't shit to get to the bottom of, basically. And then Paula is saying, I hope this bitch don't follow me around the house. But Dr. V follows her around the house. And so Chad said, Dr. V, please be careful. Leave her alone. When she get like this, we just let her be, basically. And so and so then Paula goes, that witch better not come out here and fuck with me. That witch better get away from me. So anyways, I think this shit is gonna be hilarious. It was a lot to cover in the first episode, but there was a lot of funny shit in the first episode. So anyways, please like and subscribe. It'll be greatly appreciated. Please share the video. It'll be greatly appreciated as well. So I'm trying to get this all together because this shit was hilarious. This is like a comedy skit going good. Peace.